Do you enjoy Dark Souls and all of those crazy games that make you kill yourself over and over? Well, I guess I should ask, are you completely insane? Because if you are, you might like this game. This is called Immortal Planet, and I am Brex, and I will be joined by...
Sir Jeffers.
As always. Let's start out by talking a little bit about what to expect here. What you can expect is an independently developed love letter to the Dark Souls series and the Dark Souls game. That is basically how the developers and the PR team described it to me. And from the moment that I got into the game, I knew that it was absolutely true. You can tell from the very first second that you play this that it's totally a Dark Souls clone. But at the same time, that's okay because they're admitting to that. And they're making this, it's kind of like a fan service. It's a neat little fan service for all of those people that loved the game. So were you a fan of Dark Souls?
I was a great fan of Dark Souls, actually, from the Sun Bros all the way up to, Honor of Astoria, and so on and so forth. I've just been a big fan of the Dark Souls series. Even Demon Souls I got to play as well, which, unofficial part of the series as far as I know. All I know is that great series, I love it to death. It is absolutely amazing. I have all three installed, 100% on my Steam, actually, so let's just put it like that.
Sweet. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of games like that, but I do enjoy them. It's just they do kind of infuriate me, but I'm glad that you like them a lot.
It's gotta get good, son.
Yeah, that's the thing. I gotta get good, man. I'm terrible at Dark Souls, and I'm terrible at Bloodborne. I was terrible at Neo, and I was terrible at this, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, it works the same way as all of those games. You fight your enemies, and you go through these levels, and everything's built around like checkpoints, basically. And you can get experience every time you kill someone, and of course you're going to die repeatedly, but you can recover experiences that you lose upon your death, kind of like the same way that you would expect in those other games.
Nice. Alright, so there is a margin for error, and it will punish you if you fail at the same place twice, pretty much.
Yep, that would be a good way to explain it.
Absolutely love it.
Yeah, and you can use your experience that you recover to upgrade your character. And, you can have items, spells, stuff like that. The one thing that's pretty neat to me is that they're taking this really simplified, kind of like 2D indie development cycle type game, but they're trying their best to implement the same sort of combat that you get in those AAA titles. Like, you really have to focus and understand exactly how the combat works because there's stamina and you can awaken your weapons and then you have to wait and strategically let the weapon awaken itself and then it will die. You can see your enemy's stamina and you can use that. You can stun them, you can dash at them, you can charge up your weapon if you hold down the left click. It's just pretty neat to me that they were able to take so much from those AAA titles and put it into this.
It is amazing, and honestly, I say this all the time with other, you see indie games that come out, which I'm a huge fan of. When I look at them, I tell everybody all at the same time, it's not about how the game looks, it's how it plays. If I can have fun with the game and has a decent enough story to it even, hey, I'm totally 100% with that. And by the way this game is laid out and the combat system and everything, as you mentioned, it may not be the flashiest or most, beautiful looking game out there, but for an indie game, this is amazing to me. I am just adoring this so far.
Yeah, what they've done really well, and I think it's super cool. The only thing that I will complain about is you use your mouse to determine which direction your character is facing, and he's always going to face either up, down, left, or right, and that's it. I wish there was a little more rotational axis there to kind of interact with the enemies around you, because that got sort of janky sometimes. But I understand that, it can't be perfect in that regard, and it can't be, in this huge 3D environment, so that was okay, I guess. Just a little complaint that I had. But yeah, as you make your way through these levels, you'll be able to awake your weapon with like that panel on the floor maybe. You can pick up health, and it's really about managing your health a lot. Because yeah, you can use a little upgrade boost to get some of your health back, but it's not even the full meter. And you can die very quickly, very, very quickly in this game, which I did numerous times. So it has a nice amount of challenge to it. I get pissy and I get really pissed off about this sort of stuff, but for people that like this stuff, I think they would really, really enjoy the difficulty level.
It does for sure seem really nice. I like how there's instead of a rolling feature for dodging, there's a dash feature. There's these little squares that are more like chest than anything and save spots. So I enjoy this a lot, actually. It looks like a great game. Is there any way, as far as combat goes, because I haven't seen anything yet, for parrying or like any kind of major blocking? Because right now I just see like you're kind of holding.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You block with shift. Shift is your friend. I think it's shift. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, there's definitely a key that you can block with. And if you time it correctly, it works even better. So what I would do normally is trying to find the balance between when to strike and when to block. When to strike and when to block. Because they'll charge you, and if you block it at the like perfect time, it will drain his stamina, and then you can really take advantage of him. So absolutely, there is a blocking mechanic. If I remember correctly, there was like a dodge roll mechanic too, but I never really used it a lot. I'm sure if I spent more time in the game, I would get better at it and use it more though.
Well done. But yeah, it looks great. The combat seems really, really nice, except for the whole mouse thing. I can see what you mean in some instances. Like, I just seen you back up on a guy there during combat because you couldn't turn yourself. But besides that, I like how I like the health management portion of it. I like how the game is kind of unforgiving, but at the same time, it's at that nice balance where it's not like 2 swings, you're done. You actually have a little bit of combat that you can go through before you have to stop what you're doing. You have a type of, like, for this kind of style of game, almost fluid combat, where you have to, not, attack, block, maybe do a dash here and there. So it's really situational based on your environment as far as the combat goes. And I love that. I'm falling in love with this game, dude.
Yeah, it's not perfectly fluid, but it's fluid enough. Kudos to them for being able to put that together. And each level also has like a super boss, and my god, I don't even want to talk about it.
Super boss? How? You sure? That sounds amazing.
I can't even handle the minions, so when I get to a boss, I had to quit.
I'm getting flashbacks to, again, like, to Demon Souls and everything about their bosses, so I completely understand, man. It's you get some PTSD out of that, alright?
Yeah,
That's sure. What it is. You go to bed when you fail, and you're like, man, what have I done?
Absolutely.
But well
true.
Done.
Yeah.
So how much can we expect to pay for a game like this?
What they want right now, there is a 10% discount because it's like a release sale. So it's 10% off right now, but what they normally want is $15 for it. And while I think that's okay in terms of what you get out of the gameplay and the way that everything's put together, is the game good enough to warrant $15? I think so, but the problem I do have, though, and this was even admitted to me by the PR team, and I've heard other people complaining about it as well. I have not finished the game yet, but apparently it's only 5 or 6 hours long, so I've actually played through probably a third of the game already in just one sitting. So that's the only thing that bothers me, I guess.
Yeah, a shortness of a game isn't exactly the best. It depends how this game goes about it, though. From some of the games I've played, they're only one of my favorite indie game titles is only 1 or 2 hours long, but I enjoy it greatly. So who knows? It might just be a personal preference, but 5 or 6 hours for a game like this, that doesn't seem too bad. But
right? A movie's only 3 hours, and that costs $30. So there you go.
Yeah.
But another saving grace I noticed on the main menu also, that there is I think it's nightmare mode is what they called it, but basically I think it's a way to go back and play it again after you've beaten it once and you've gotten pretty good at it. So there's more hours, right? There's more hours and more bang for your buck. So maybe the 15 is worth it.
I for a game like this, and based on, now this is my own, I'm getting a slight personal bias, I think, from my experience with the other, Dark Souls games, and this is a nod, and you can tell. I think I would do 15, maybe not much more. I think 18 would be like a max that I'd go, but I would do 15 on this for sure.
Yeah, based upon the gameplay and the mechanics and everything, I'd say it's worth 15. You just have to keep in mind that it is a short game. But if you guys are interested in Immortal Planet, be sure to check it out on Steam, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure to watch some more of our videos. This has been Brax.
And I'm Sir Jeffers.
And we'll see you guys on the next one.
Bye.